Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Classroom of the Elite Season 2 episode number 4 reaction. Alright, the previous episode, it was really good episode. I feel like it was one of the best episodes including season 1. And oh boy, did the whole, what can I say, the plan that Aina Koji was making came out. We got to see how he played everyone in a way, excepting a few characters, obviously the people who he was just who he told everything about his plan. And also Ichinose was he wasn't able to trick Ichinose. So except these few characters, he tricked everyone, and just it was a great what can I say, like a climax, I have to say. And first of all, the first thing that happened is he got his cooperation from Karuizawa by a very questionable method, but obviously this is Ayano Koji we're talking about. He looks at the bigger picture. That's basically him. Morality, I don't think it actually matters much to him. He just looks at the bigger picture. And I feel like he's the type of guy who's like the all ends that ends well type of a guy. When the ending is okay and is favorable to him, he can do anything in any way possible. So yeah, he got Karizawa's help. And he obviously, because he needed her help, because he needed someone to be that one person who could lead the class. That cannot be him or Horikita, because both of them, they're not that popular amongst the students. So yeah, Karuizawa is perfect for that. People will listen to him, listen to her. So yeah, Anakoji was like, I'm going to help you out, and I'm going to protect you from all of these people and all of these bullies, all stuff like that. You do what I say. There you go. And the first thing that happened is the whole plan that came out after, little by little, of the whole exchanging phone, and not only that, also exchanging the SIM card, which he was able to do by buying it from the teacher. And that was the whole plan. Ichinose was able to see through him, but she didn't say anything because she wanted to see A team lose, because A team is at the top. So there you go. But even though all of that happened, class C became the winner because Ryuen has some kind of a thing up his sleeve. He was able to guess everything correctly. So we don't know what happened, but I don't know, like I feel like something was going on, like he did some kind of a trickery, which we still don't know. I'm kind of a little bit suspicious on Kushida. I don't know why, but like she seems a little bit suspicious. Her, the things that she did before, and I think in episode 2, she kind of went and hugged Ayano Koji just suddenly and stuff like that. I'm still a little bit suspicious of that. And she was like the VIP, I think. Yeah, she was the VIP as well, which is also kind of brings more to the suspicion. So who knows? We'll see. Anyways, let us begin. This is episode number 4. So yeah, I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it whichever is your preference, and let's get started. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. The material has to be created. Nightingale, subsidiary nose of the International Female Nursing. Okay. Wait, what? The group name was a hint? Oh, wait, what? Oh my god. Wow. Wow. Okay. Wow. That's intelligent. Okay. Kind of weird because there's only 7. No, not 7, sorry. Yeah, and people won't. Exactly. Hmm. Oh. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah. There may have come from us. My God. Yeah. Well, she's at least acknowledging the fact that, yeah, she needs to interact with others. Exactly. There you go. Wow, that's interesting. So this was all, but it's kind of like that means, like, the first few people in the group would only be like, the VIP will be only from the, if you arrange them alphabetically, the first few people will be only the, among the first few people the VIP will come out, because there's a limited amount of planets in the solar system. So yeah, which is, I guess that could be. And another thing that they said, like, even if someone figured it out, they would be a little bit suspicious as to whether that is how it's going or not, and they would be kind of like a little bit, what can I say, like, fearful of actually testing this theory out, in case, like, they might lose. Like, they might figure it out, but they might not have the courage to actually test it out, because one little mistake, it's gone. But Ruben was awfully sure about it, like, which is also kind of suspicious. How was he so sure that this is how it was, kind of, the VIP was actually decided? How was he so sure about it? Okay. Oh, okay. Oh boy, I'll have to read this later on. Huh, okay. Oh boy. Post festival. Entire school. Oh my god. If okay. Look at Koenji. Hmm. Yep. Yeah. So yeah, oh boy. Oh damn. Okay, calm down. What is he, Senjo Gahara? Mandatory and voluntary. Voluntary events can move. Yeah, makes sense. Uh, oh boy. Adding points. So extra marks in exams? Okay, that's kind of, yeah, that's really helpful, I guess. Like, yeah. Oh boy. Lowest 10 places is penalty. Ah, 10 points. The bottom 10. Only 10? I guess 10 is a big deal. Yeah, obviously. Well, obviously, if you gain point, then you. Yeah. Three-legged race. Okay. Voluntary scavenger. We can? Oh boy. Pure sports. Okay, this should be interesting. I wonder. Oh, okay. Yep, I know because it's like. I wonder what he is going to be participating in. Hmm. Penalty, maybe? The whole thing about voluntary and mandatory is kind of interesting. Although there was a hidden. Yeah. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, you cannot buy everything, you know. Ah. Okay. Hmm. Oh. Oh boy. Well. Yeah. Hmm. Hey, look at him. Oh boy. Yeah. But this is a team game, you know? I don't think. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, maybe there's something that includes like that needs in. Okay. Optimized combination. Oh, the one which includes multiple people. Yeah, the three-leg race and everything. Ah, okay. Oh my god, that was why the points, extra point was okay. This is interesting. Yeah, like a lot of people will kind of look at that only. People won't be. Oh, okay, Horikita, calm down. She's making herself look like as the bad guy. Ah, okay, Karuizawa, I think this is the time her. Okay, he was texting her. I saw that. He was texting her. He was like, she was like looking down. My God, this guy. Okay. Oh boy. Mm. Yeah, that's a fair point. Just brings her in the corner. Ugh. Combine. But okay. Okay, yeah. Up, here we go. Just what Ayano wanted. Someone who other people will listen to. Oh boy. Okay, calm down, Horikita. She is not going to work like this, you know. Yeah, good point. Well, obviously, Kariza is going to win. Look at Ayano. Oh boy. Hey, Sudo. He's like, yeah, I'm neutral. Then, wait, wait, what? I thought, okay, this is interesting. I didn't think this was how it's going to go. I also have a few questions. So, was this his plan? There you go. Oppose Hoikita's opinion, ask for Kushida's opinion as well. Okay. Hmm. Oh boy. Okay, okay. Oh wait, what? Then make my current class one capable of. I'm going to create a framework. Produce a traitor. Like, I feel like Kushida actually falls in the. But I feel like that's going to be too obvious. Like, everyone's actually, like, I'm talking about the audience. I'm pretty sure everyone's kind of suspicious of Kushida. So if she's actually the traitor, that'll be too obvious. So I don't know. I'll talk about this in the discussion section. 82. Damn. Oh, Koenji, I want to see this. Come on, show us your hidden strength. I'm pretty sure he won't actually put much strength to it. Alright, fair enough. Okay. Okay. Hmm. Damn. Yeah, 60. No, according to him. Yeah, according to him, that's average. This guy, Sudo. Oh no. I know coach is like, what? Yeah. Oh, he just wanted to be average, but oh boy. Hmm. Oh, okay. And like Anakuchi said, someone will be the traitor among this. So it's training everyone. Hmm. Um. Come on, Horikita. The team game. God damn. Yeah, like what are you doing? That's not how it works. Like, you need to actually, and that as well, obviously. Like, you cannot. Come on. Yeah, let me show you what what actual power is. Let's go. Oh boy, I'm pretty sure he won't show his actual capability, but let's see what he does. Or is he going to? He is. He is. Okay, okay. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Yep, this is what happens. Oh, I was not expecting Anakoji to actually. Okay. Show his. I thought he wanted. Hmm. Yep. One other. Oh. One other. Ooh. Yeah, I kind of guessed that. But the reason, I'm pretty sure she's working with Ryuen, but there must be a reason behind it. Like, I was kind of suspicious of her from the beginning, and as soon as Ryuen was like, "Oh, I was able to easily, like, um, guess who the traitor was," and he did say that, "Oh, it was because you are too obvious, Horikita." That was obviously completely, false. I'm pretty sure he just made that up. Like, it's not that easy. Like I said, even if you, even if he knew that, or suspected Horikita and was able to read her like a book, even if he was able to do that, unless and until you're 100% confident, you're not a fool that you are going to like guess on based off like, oh, I think that that person is a traitor because Horikita actions were like this. You're not a fool. You're not obviously going to base your decisions on that when your class is actually going to get points, or points might get deducted from your class. So I was sure there was like a foolproof method he had, which is how he was able to figure out the traitor. And obviously Kushida was acting suspicious, and that's why I was like, since Kushida was the VIP, I'm pretty sure she said something to Ryuen. But the question here is the reason. I don't see Kushida betraying everyone just because, so I don't know, like I feel like Ryuen has something. Okay, that's it. Ryuen had some kind of a upper hand on Kushida, I guess. Something, who knows. So probably because of that, maybe he blackmailed her or something like that. Yeah, but either way, yeah. Now, like I said, as soon as Anakuji said that a traitor will come out, I was like, okay, the very suspicious one is obviously Kushida. But I was also thinking, like, are they going to make the traitor Kushida? Because that will be too obvious, wouldn't it? Like, yeah. So I was thinking, like, now here's one thing. Anakoji just completely told us in this episode, and obviously Horikata as well, that the traitor was Kushida. So the fact that Kushida was the traitor is already established. Now, like I said, there's no guarantee that this time would also have the same traitor. So I don't know, like 50-50, I guess. There's 50% chance of this. So the traitor who Ainakuji said will come out from this competition, this sports day thing. There's 50-50 chance is that it'll be Kushida or someone else. Now I'm guessing the next episode will give us a lot of more information, and then we'll be able to properly judge whether Kushida will be the traitor or whether not. Because in the next episode, the way it'll go, the next episode is going to actually dictate what's going to happen with the whole Kushida being traitor. Because in the next episode, if we actually do not confront Kushida and just follow her, and and it is established that Kushida was the traitor, then yeah, like if we just follow her, if Kushida herself doesn't realize that she's being followed and all that, then there's a possibility of her being the traitor in this game as well. But if in the next week's episode, if we actually confront Kushida and just tell her that, oh, you are the traitor or something like that, or hint at it, who knows, maybe she won't be the traitor, and the anime will take us in such a direction that another traitor will come out. I don't know, I'm just thinking, of multiple possibilities, because then it will be too obvious, like that. I don't know. Anyways, enough about that. I'm thinking too much into the future. But yeah, like Kushida. Okay, another thing. Like I said, the reasoning behind her being the traitor is definitely, mm, yeah, like in season one, like obviously we knew that Kushida has that hidden side, but we didn't see much that kind of hinted of her being a traitor in any way. In all everything that we saw her, she was just very much crafty and had like a hidden personality. That was all about Kushida in season one. There was no indication of Kushida actually being a traitor or something like that. Here in season two, we're getting that vibe of Kushida being the traitor. So the question is, now I'm pretty sure she is working, or she is being forcefully, being, I don't know how, but probably blackmail or something, being like, just used to help Ruin. Ruin is just maybe blackmailing her or something, and forcefully making her spill all the beans about Class D. I'm like 80% sure about that. I'm pretty much sure it's Ruin. But the question here is, was this collaboration, I would say, already in place from season one, or was it newly, like, like established in season two? That's my question. This whole thing. My bet is this is like a new development. In season one, I'm pretty sure Kushida was working all alone. Like, she was just like, she was not being used by Ruin, or she was not a traitor. So I'm guessing in season two something happened which made her forcefully, like, which made her to be a traitor, or which forcefully made her to act as a traitor, spill all the beans, and help Ruin out. The question is, what was it? Or if I am wrong, like, I don't know. I'm, like I said, I'm not quite sure. Maybe she was always, like, a traitor, and we just didn't realize that. As audiences, maybe I just didn't realize it. But maybe she, from season one, she was actually working with Ruin, and I didn't realize that. But my bet is from season two. This is like a recent development. We'll see. Okay, now we begin this episode with all of them in a cafe, I guess. Yeah, Horikita, Karizawa, Hirata, and Ayanokoji, and them actually explaining how the whole VIP system worked. Now, okay, so like Hirata said, this whole thing of actually arranging it according to the solar system and alphabetic order, it was, I guess it was like a good plan, but for everyone to realize that while playing the game was pretty much impossible, because you don't even know what the other groups constitute of. And even if you know that, even if you realize that, oh, like these are all like, planets in the solar system, so if I just kind of arrange them according to how, like, the planets in the solar system are arranged, and then if I actually place all the characters in what do you call it, like in alphabetical order, maybe the one which coincides with the placement of the planet is the VIP. Even if you figure all that out, unless and until you are the VIP, you won't be able to check whether you're correct or wrong. And even if you are the VIP and you realize that, and you realize like, oh, you know what, like I'm the VIP, my number comes third from, like, the beginning, and guess what, I'm also, like, the planet that I'm in is also third in, like, arrangement. So maybe they're doing maybe this is a trick of actually figuring out the VIP. If you're the VIP and you realize that, what can you even do? Because you're the VIP, and there's also the possibility, and you can't even say that to anyone else in case they turn out to be the traitor and betray you, and actually get the points for themselves. So something like that I was thinking. So there you go. This was like a well-made, I guess, way of actually assigning the VIPs. And okay, I kind of saw that scene again, and there's one part I really don't understand here. they're talking as if something happened and Ruin was had incorrectly guessed the VIP, I'm guessing. Which I don't wait. So Ruin's group won. Obviously, we saw that class C won, and went back to the previous episode, and we saw that he has won by 100 points. So that would mean obviously that the game was not that simple. If you your points get minused if you give some incorrect answer. So like I forgot which group Ruin was in. I don't think did they mention it. I don't remember if they did. So that's why I wasn't able to go more deeper into it, because I don't know which group Ruin is. And but like I said, this group this game is not that simple. You don't only gain points if you are right, you lose points if you're wrong as well. So there's like a lot of plus and minus happening. So the 100 point that Ruin's class got is like the combination of the right answers and the wrong answers. So he probably has probably got a few right answers, and there was probably one or two wrong answers maybe. Is that why Hirata here is saying that even though Ruin was able to understand the rule, he made a mistake? And that's when Horikita says like that's because his class is not a monolith, like there are people who are not happy with him. So maybe because of that he lost a few points in it, because the full class is not under his control. So I'm guessing that's what they're implying here, because like we saw, our group, Mass group, class D, in the group in which Ainokoji was in, from their group, obviously the class A student, he made an incorrect answer. That would mean that class A ultimately got I think minus 50 or something like that, and all combined class A got minus 200 points. So like that, I'm guessing some way or the other, in one of the groups that obviously that contain class D members. Obviously every group has class D member. What am I saying? What I'm trying to say is one of the other groups, maybe someone won, or someone was able to figure out the VIP. That's why they got that 50 points that we got. And what Ainokoji did is actually made the class A member lose and get his point deducted. So yeah, just like that, I'm guessing in Ruin's group there were someone who made a mistake. Not groups, like Ruin's class. Is that why they're saying here that Ruin made a mistake? I think so, because he was able to guess Kushida correctly. So I'm pretty sure his class got like 50 points extra from that. So there must be some mistake that he made. Otherwise, why would Horikita say this? Like his class is a monolith. So that would mean there's someone who are not happy with Ruin. And that's why he made the class made the mistake. I don't know. This part a little bit confuses me. Anyways, okay, I'm sure I'll get my answers eventually. Now, after that we get to the next scene, which is the newest, you could say like a newest competition, and this is called the sports festival. And there's a lot of, okay, you know what, let me read the rules and regulations. Rules and teams for sports festival. The sports festival format will involve splitting the entire school into red and white teams. This year the teams will consist of red team class A and D, white team class B and C. Point to be taken here, again class D and class C are enemies. You see that? So I'm pretty sure like the whole thing with Ainokoji versus Ruin is going to come up again, and the whole Kushida will be one of the key players in this, because there's a possibility that she is the traitor. So yeah. Now, point distribution for mandatory events. Individual, first place receives 15 points, second place 12 points, third place 10, fourth place 8. Positions 5th place and below each receive 1 fewer points than the next position up. Okay. For group competitions, the winning teams receives 500 points. Okay. Point distribution for voluntary events. First place receives 50 points, second 30, third 15, fourth 10. Positions 5th place and below receive 2 fewer points than the next position up. Triple point values are awarded for the final relay race. Okay. Effect of red versus white competition results. Classes in all years of the team that receives fewer overall points will lose 100 class points. Effects of ranking per class per year. In each class year, the class that receives most total points receive 50 class points. The class that receives the most... Wait, class if all years, your overall points will lose. Classes in all years of the team that receives fewer overall points. Okay, so both the classes will lose 100 class points if they're lower points. Okay. Now, no, wait. So that would mean that even if one class does better and the other class like completely messes up and you lose, then both the class is going to lose points. Like it's basically a team game. And effect of rankings per class year. In each class year, the class that receives most total points will receive 50 class points. Wait, they're not saying the team, the class is saying that the class that receives the most total points. That means not the team, the class will get. Wait, what? Like the first one, red versus white competition results effect, which is written, it said that classes in all years of that team, that means both the group, like both the classes will lose 100 class points. But for here, effect of rankings per class, to each class year that the class receives the most total points will receive 50 class points. It's not the team, but the class will individually receive 50. This is a weird rule. What the hell? So even if you win, you need to be the class that gains the maximum points, otherwise you won't get the class point even if your team wins. My god, these rules are so complicated always. Like it just hurts my head most of the times. Each class here, the clan. Anyways, I'm sure I'll get my I'll get proper explanation as we go deeper into the festival. Now here they say that the entire school will compete and all the classes will compete, even seniors are going to compete. So yeah, Horikita's brother will also be here with them. Which is interesting, I guess. So Hanakoji and Horikita's brother will be in the same team. He's in class A, isn't he? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he's in class A, definitely. Now, obviously Sudo's just hyped up. He's like, oh, I'm going to volunteer in everything and I'm going to win everything. And the interesting thing here is that volunteering actually gains you more points. So basically, the things that are not mandatory, if you go in there and score points, you're going to get a better score. So yeah, like obviously mandatory events you have to do it, but voluntary events, they're giving us more points because there are a lot of people might not actually participate if they don't want to, but giving them extra points will give them a better motivation, and also it will also help out in, I guess, like people are going to actually focus more on the voluntary event because that gives us better points, something like that. And another thing, voluntary events are something that you can actually choose, I'm guessing, because mandatory events, everyone is going to compete. Voluntary event means like you can choose which person will do which event. So basically, if there's like an event where you need to be very fast, you can actually nominate someone who is fast at that. So something like that, and actually calculate which event which person is going to go. Now, okay, another thing. Okay, events consist of mandatory and voluntary events. It's important to give all you have. Okay, here we go. The student who places last in individual events loses 1,000 personal point. If private point. If private points are currently below 1,000, penalty will be applied to written exams. Oh, okay. The student who places last in individual events loses 1,000 points. Private points are currently below 1,000. Oh, so unless and until your points are not below 1,000, the penalty won't be applied. Okay. So if you have a lot saved up, even if you lose every event, you won't be bothered, I'm guessing. Okay, now here the whole thing comes about the bonus points for the top 3 places. Okay, you'll receive bonus points which you can add to your next written exam. Okay, so it's going to help them in tests, obviously a very big deal. Now there is actually something bad about this as well, where it says lowest 10 places will receive a penalty. Lowest 10 places. Okay, 10, damn, it's a lot of them. Top 3 are going to get a better, like, the whole, I guess you cannot do anything about it. Like this thing is kind of disadvantageous. Like there's only top 3 are going to get extra points, but lower 10 are going to get penalized, which means the whole thing is actually, if you think of the whole situation, like, thing as a whole, not individually, we're losing stuff. Like, we're losing class marks, basically. Not class marks, sorry, written test marks. Oh my god, everything's getting mixed up in my head. So okay, I'm guessing they so basically, however you do it, however better you perform, there will always be 10 people in the end who are going to get penalized and who are going to get marks deduced from the written exams. So basically that, so this whole thing, this whole rule here, which gives you, awards you extra points and which also takes away extra points from the lower 10, I feel like this is like a very deliberate ploy to actually let them make the class break up. Like everyone's going to think about themselves, that the thing that which kind of happened here in this episode, like when Orikita said like we should think of it as a class, I've obviously logically thinking about it, that is more beneficial. But people obviously, like, everyone will be like, oh no, like, even if we think of it as a class, and we go according to strategically, the people who are not going to get enough points, they are going to get their marks reduced. So everyone's going to think of their own, like they'll try to become the best because they want the extra point, and everyone will not try to be last so that their points don't get reduced from the written exams. But I feel like this whole rule is actually given in just so that people stop thinking as a group. They try to think about it individually. Is that the reason why they introduced this? Because thinking of it as a whole, this whole thing in itself is very disadvantageous. Top 3 is going to get extra numbers on their marks, while last 10 is going to get the numbers reduced. 3 and 10, like that in itself is so, if it was like 3 and 3, I would have been like, okay, net result plus minus, even if it's individual written exams, still, it's a tie. Like, no one gains anything, no one loses anything if you look at it, like, on the whole class. If you look at it collectively, I'm talking about it collectively, I'm talking about the whole collective marks of the class. So yeah, I don't know, I feel like this whole thing introduced was a big what can I say, it was a big ploy to actually break up the group and let them not think as a team. Okay, the bottom 10 first year places. Wait, what? Just a sec. Wait, bottom 10 first year? Only first year? What type of... Yo, this is so weird. The rules are all over the place, I feel like. Why only first year? What's going to happen if... So wait, if the bottom 10 are actually second year or third year, so there's no penalty, I'm guessing. So the plan here is to actually not be in the last 10, so that, like, especially for first years, if the first years are not in the last 10, then they won't get their numbers, they won't lose their numbers. Like this, again, this is kind of confusing me a little bit. Like I understand, but I don't understand the reason why they have such weird rules in this. Wait, how much points are you going to gain if you are in the top 3? By placing in the top, you'll receive bonus points you can add to your next written exam. It can be very helpful for your tests. Wait, how much points will you get? Like she says, you're going to get minus 10 points if you are in the lowest 10. But how much will you gain? How much points will you gain if you're in the top 3? And this part really is so weird. The bottom 10 first year. So the second year and third year, they have no penalties. Is that what it means? Or I don't know. Okay. Now, anyways, the rules are again really weird. Mandatory, let's see what the events are. Mandatory events are 100-meter dash, hurdles, topple the pole, boys only, ball toss, girls only, tug of war, gender segregated, obstacle course, three-legged race. Three-legged race is mandatory. Okay, piggyback joust and 200-meter dash. Okay, voluntary events, scavenger hunt, four-way tug of war. Okay, co-ed three-legged race. Oh, three-legged race is the co-ed. Oh, okay. So, all right, there's a three-legged race and there's a co-ed three-legged race. The co-ed three-legged race is voluntary. And combined class year 1,200-meter relay. Okay, which is also part of the voluntary events. Obviously, the voluntary events are going to give you more points. So, yeah, those are important. And obviously, the teacher says, like, decide what you'll participate in which and fill in the participant sheet and submit it to me. And everything is, like, the decision, everything will take, the class themselves will take. Like, no teachers are going to get involved in this. So they'll have to think of it themselves. Now, okay, that was that. Then next we see Horikita and Anakoji talking, and Anakoji says that this exam, there's something a little bit you cannot buy stuff, like just like how we did before. Here as well we can probably buy things, but the main focus of the test cannot be you cannot buy stuff out of it. For example, the main focus of this test is like you have to be athletically fit, and obviously you'll have to participate, you'll have to do well. You cannot do anything, you cannot buy you cannot buy your it won't be as blatant as you can buy the fact that you've won. It wouldn't be that easy. You have to participate in it, but there will be some things that you might be able to buy out of it. Like, okay, you know what, let me read this part. He explains it in a lot better way. Okay, for instance, the written exam, although there was a hidden trick regarding buying things with points, fundamentally it was still there you go, a test of academic ability. You think the sports festival is the same way? You should assume the stamina and athletic ability are the order of the grade. Yeah, that's what I've tried. I wasn't able to properly explain. Okay, sneaky tricks won't have much bearing on the results. So basically, yeah, the main focus cannot be tarnished. You have to be athletic, you have to participate. Other stuff you might be able to do a little bit tweaking here and there with buying stuff, but it cannot be actually, you won't be able to do that in the main thing. Something like that, I guess. He blatantly says that Horikita, that you are trying to find loopholes out, like having someone be absent before the competition or forcing them to drop out partway. In other words, you want a surefire method. And she's like, are you suggesting we have to fight and win through orthodox means? It's up to you how you take it. Okay, yeah, basically that. So the main thing, you cannot do anything about it. You have to participate, and you have to base everything on skill and your strength. So yeah, those type of sneaky stuff, it won't work. Okay, now next we see everyone's kind of discussing what to actually which voluntary events, how are you going to participate. Okay, so here Hirata in front of the whiteboard, he has written skill method give priority to the skilled. Positive gains gives a high chance of winning, negatives gives others less strong less chance of winning, ignores the will of the other classmates, while voluntary method is choose placements based on what each person wants. Positive gives people the order they want, lets everyone enjoy themselves. Negative, not everyone will get what they want, potential inconsistency of result. Basically, think of the whole thing as a class or a group, or think of it in your own way individually. The voluntary method, it seems, I have to say, it seems pretty nice from the looks of it, where because it says that gives people the order they want, lets everybody enjoy themselves. Now, I'm pretty sure this whole test in itself is in no way for your own enjoyment. I doubt that. This is not a normal school, sports festival. So obviously, Horikita, being the person who is very straightforward, she thinks about everything from the class perspective and wants the class to win because they want to go to class A. She said that the skill method is better. I'm also kind of, I guess you could say, actually supportive of that, because I also think skill method is actually the key to winning this, obviously. But people won't be happy about it, like they say, like the negative is that the people who are less strong, for example, for us, for the maximum points we can get, they will need to sacrifice a few of the less stronger students to some of the events and calculate which events can give them more points, and base everything on that. So the people who are weak in certain things, they might have to take the fall, and and that's how they might be, actually by the end of it they might lose and be the last 10 and get penalized in their exams. So there you go. So it won't make a lot of people happy about it, but at the same time, this is going to give us a better chance to win, which would mean we'll get class points. So individually think about it, or think about it as a group. That's basically it. And like I said, I feel like the whole thing about giving the top 3 extra marks and deducing marks from the last 3 first years, I feel like this whole rule in itself is a big bait. It was basically put in this event to make people not think of it as a group and actually make people choose the voluntary method, because in the voluntary method everyone's happy, everyone gets to choose what they want to do, but at the same time the voluntary method seems like a lot more, like I said, free. It gives a lot of freedom, while the skill method kind of seems a lot of more what can I say, in a more like you're ordering someone to do something even if they're not comfortable with it, that type of a thing. It's like a dictatorship, I guess you could say. There will be one leader, that leader will be like, oh, you do this, you do that, obviously based on what person can do and what which students should actually take the fall. There'll be one leader, and that's how it's going to go. A lot of people won't be happy about this, that type of a thing. So yeah, skill method, it seems better, but at the same time it restricts your freedom, and maximum students won't be happy about it, while the voluntary method gives you that freedom, but at the same time it actually will be it won't help you win the game. You'll just have fun, and that will be it, and your class points will probably go down if you do poorly, as a whole group. So yeah, again, another interesting thing. Now Horikita, she says that, where is she? 2 options, I have no objection to the skill method. There you go. But there's no guarantee that we can beat the other class through that alone. While it's a given that we put more athletic members in the voluntary events where they specialize, we can also bring best just a sec. We can also best bring out our maximum potential in the mandatory events through optimized combination. There you go. Okay, let me read this part. She explains it a bit better. Okay, for instance, here you go. Rather than putting two fast people in a race together, eliminating one, yeah, we should pair each with a slow person to guarantee higher placements. And I would say this, like someone who's like, doesn't that plan reduce anything of non-athletic people, chances of non-athletic people winning anything? There you go, the whole thing that I said, like as a class or as individually. And people, obviously people are thinking about the bonus points, so there you go. Now Horikita, as always, she's just so brutally, I guess you could say, like, you know, direct and honest, that it actually makes her like, you know, like not fit as a leader. You know, she's just like, oh, why should I care? You know, like I should think of this as like, you know, like as a group, you know, like your priorities are misplaced. Just focus on your studies, and you know, like you don't need the extra point if you just study, you know, like what the hell, guys? That's basically what she was saying, you know, like she's like, it's your fault if you're stupid. That was how the tone she was speaking with, and like you shouldn't act like this. Like there's a lot better way to say this, but she's just so, like, you know, angry and so just direct that, yeah. And people are not happy about it. They're like, what the hell, like what's this girl saying? Like, you know, like she doesn't care about us, she's smart, she can probably get out of this so easily, that's why she doesn't care about us, that type of a thing. And it's so funny, like Ayanokoji knew something like this was going to happen. He was already texting Karisa. Oh my god, I was like, why is Karisa doing it, like kind of bending her neck? And I'm like, oh, Ayanokoji is texting someone, it's probably her. And there you go. Now you saw how the classmate kind of sat down when she thought that, like, you know, saw that Horikita kind of like, you know, being logical about it, and she was, by the end of it, she kind of gave up. But as soon as Karizawa stood up and she started voicing her, like, you know, what can I say, her, like, you know, opinions about this, everyone was like, yeah, like that's Karizawa. She's like the leader, you could say, like, you know, that one person. Like everyone, you know, like all the characters here who were not happy about this situation, they were all keeping quiet because they knew that if they voice their opinions, you know, other people might look at them, you know, in a different way, maybe, you know, like people might, I don't know, like, you know, like it's kind of scary to actually voice your opinion when you're like in the minority, and everyone was like keeping it to themselves, and they were like, you know, like kind of not expressing it, because Hoikita logically was actually correct. But as soon as Kaizawa stood up, Kaizawa, the person, you know, who is probably the most charismatic person in this class after Hirata, I guess, you know, she stood up and she kind of voiced her opinion, and she's like, no, I'm not happy about this, I want to go through the like, you know, voluntary method, like, you know, I don't want this whole skill method, like, you know, like I don't like that. As soon as she said that, all the person who are not happy about the skill method, they got that courage. They're like, oh my god, Karizawa is also saying that, maybe I should also voice my opinion. Everyone stood up, you know, like this is the whole thing. I guess this, you could say, like, this is like the just following your leader, that type of a thing. If you have like a leader, you know, who is charismatic, like, you know, that person can change the whole like, you know, outcome of like a battle. That's why you need a good leader in everything, and Ayanokoji needed that leader kind of thing, and he was able to find that in Karizawa. That's why he you know, like he kind of started cooperating with her. And Karizawa kind of says, like, you know, in her own way, she's like, oh, like, you know, what the hell are you saying, like, you know, basically you don't care about us who are idiots, and why don't you explain it to us idiots who don't understand this? And, you know, kind of putting pressure on her. And Hoikita is logically correct. She's like, we will be rewarded in the long run if our class gains points, which is true, you know, like if the class gains points, we'll get a lot of benefit by the end of it, which maybe in the future can also help us out in our tests. You know, we don't know, you know, what these class points can do by the end of it. So in the long run, obviously, but people don't usually look at the long run. They kind of look at immediate results, you know. And that's why, you know, like this whole little rule of extra points and minus points will be in the end was added just to add flame to this whole situation, so that people don't act as a group. Now I do wonder why Ayanokoji told Kaizawa to go in this way, because I feel like, you know, like the skill way is the better way, but who knows, like this is Ayanokoji we're talking about. Maybe he found some other loophole or something to actually win this game by like, you know, going through with the voluntary method. Or maybe this is not his actual plan, but this is like a bait that he's, I don't know, like, you know, maybe this is like a fake plan that he's currently using, or maybe he's going to do something else in the future. This is just for the time being that he told Kaizawa to go with this. Now, you know what the most interesting thing about this is? Oh no, before that, another point I missed. Asking Kushida what her, like, you know, what her opinion is on this. Kaizawa asked Kushida, and obviously she's like, oh, I feel like I understand both sides. Ideally, I think you'd combine both ideas so that the person taking first and last both feel okay about it. A way for both sides to be satisfied. Okay, have students who don't need test points to take the top places. Wait, what? Just a sec. Have students who don't need test points take the top places. Wait, why? The average, then average out the private points they gain with the ones the students in the bottom. I don't understand anything that she says here. What? Have students who don't need test points take the top places. Okay. Then average out the private points they gain with the ones the students in the bottom ranks lose. Anyways, basically what she's trying to say is like kind of average. I understand what she's trying to say, but I don't understand the, like, you know, the intricacies of what she's trying to say. Like basically she's saying like kind of, you know, like where everyone wins by the end of it, like, you know, average it out by the end, like that type of a thing. Will share gains and losses among the class. And Kaiser's like, but that's just for the points. It also lowers our chances of winning. What do you guys think? And a lot of people are like, oh, I'm against it, obviously, because Kaiser is saying that. And because like, I'm stupid, this and that. The other class can possibly have, oh my god, members as stupid as you are. Okay, now everyone's just looking at Horikita in a weird way, you know. I do wonder what was the actual reason why Anukoji did this. Like, they didn't win the voting. Did he really do this just so that other students are going to, you know, kind of lose their faith in Horikita? Was that actually his plan? And why did he actually tell Karuizawa to ask Kushida about her opinion? These two things are I'm kind of thinking about. Like Kushida was just like, oh, like I feel like, you know, like I'm like both, like I'm in both the sides, that type of a thing. Now the voting begins. Okay, a lot of people are actually in Horikita's side. There you go. Like people who think of it in a like more skill way, like, you know, in a way that helps out the class. And like, you know what the thing about this whole voting is, it seems as if Karuizawa lost, but there's actually a lot of characters who did not even vote, you know. Like that defeats the whole purpose of who had better influence in this class. It's probably Karuizawa, but like a lot of people didn't even vote. Now the the people who want to who agrees with Karuizawa, where the girls who were saying that I'm going to vote for you, or like I'm going to follow your. Karizawa also puts her hand up. Interesting. Kushida puts her hands up for Karizawa. Why did Kushida? I guess she did say like either of it. Okay, there you go. That's that. There's a few things that I'm thinking about. Like I said, a few suspicious sections, but I'm sure I'll get my answers. You know, the whole thing with Kushida and what was the actual point of this? Why did Ainokoji do this? I feel like one of the biggest points, like, you know, reasons why he did this is to make other people lose faith in Horikita. I don't know what he wants to accomplish by doing that, but we'll see. Then obviously Karizawa, just like I have a lot of questions. She also comes and asks Ainokoji like, what the hell was that? You know, like you know, like she says like, I also thought that Horikita's plan was the correct one. And Ainokoji is like, oh, you don't need to think. Just keep watching, you know. You'll see what happens. And okay. He says, Kaiser says, what do you want? What is your actual target? And he says like, I'm happy to make my current class one capable of rising to class A. I'm happy to make my current class one capable of rising. Capable, which means, yeah, I don't need to go up to class A, but I want to make everyone capable enough. So yeah, so basically he's not planning on going to class A anytime soon, but he's trying to make everyone be good enough to go to class A, that type of a thing, I guess. And he's like, okay, you know what, let me give you a little hint. I'm going to create a framework that is going to make you believe me. This sports festival, class D, will produce a traitor. There you go. Now I do wonder if this traitor that he said here is actually Kushida, because even though in the end we see Ainokoji blatantly say that the traitor in the previous game was Kushida, we still don't know if that traitor will be also the traitor in this game. Like I said, the previous game, Kushida probably leaked stuff to Sudo. Not Sudo, sorry, what the hell am I saying? Ruin. Leaked stuff to Ruin. Which is also something that I'm just thinking. Like, I don't have enough proof for that, but I think so. I'm just assuming. But this, like, you know, this game, what do you call it? This contest, we still don't know this traitor will be the same person or not. Will Kushida again betray them, or Ainokoji has something else in plan? Anyways, they kind of do the aptitude test to see who is strong enough and this and that. This part was a little bit funny because Ainokoji was like, okay, how much is the average? He asks Sudo, who is like the guy who's just always hyped up about these type of things, and according to his brain, he thinks 60 is the average. Obviously not. And Ainokoji was like, oh, 60, okay, then I'll do 60. And he does 60. And he obviously he kind of explains us about how, like, you know, the like which muscles to actually train for these type of things, and how you can easily surpass like 100 kgs. And he gives us the explanation, and he does 60. Obviously, I'm pretty sure he could have broken this whole thing down, because Ainokoji, this is we're talking about, and he could have probably just I don't know, just gripped it, and it probably would have bended and went out of proportion if he used his full power. But he just used like a mere section of his power, and it was 60. And he's like, oh, here you go, 60. And Hirata's like, wait, dude, 60? That's quite good, isn't it? And Ainokoji's like, what? And he's like, yeah, like usually people are 45 and 50, and Ainokoji has this blank look, looks at Sudo just blankly. He's like, what the hell? Oh god. Now it was decided Sudo's going to go to all the voluntary events. Like, you know, we are prioritizing the skill in this, just like how Horikita, you know, decision came out. Now after that we see everyone kind of training and all, and again Horikita is at odds with a lot of different like, you know, students. And this is the part which I have to say, like, this is what is actually wrong about Horikita. She like, she's just too focused on her goal that she doesn't even see what's happening around her. She's like, oh, you guys are so slow, like, I'm trying my best to get our class to the top. Like, this is the good thing about her, like, how she wants to win this, and the bad thing, she thinks about the whole class as a whole, which is actually quite good in the long run. But at the same time, situations like this is going to, like, if she acts like this, where she's like, oh, I'm thinking about the class, and doesn't actually care about what other people think about, is going to reduce her popularity. And the time will come when no one's just going to listen to her at all. Like, she's going to say something, even if it's like beneficial for the class, and people are just going to ignore her, because like, her reputation is just going to go down like that. And just like that, here again, she's just like, like, focusing on the good for the class. That's why she's like, oh, I'm like, I'm trying my best to make the class better, like, that's why I'm running fast, and you're just slow. And I you know what, one thing will also have to disagree here. I feel like actually cooperating in this, not actually thinking about your own strength in matches like the three-legged race, where you need a partner to cooperate, is actually help you out in the long run, because good teamwork is actually the key to winning these. Like, there's a lot of like, students who will actually fail because of bad teamwork here. So if you are actually trying to do what your partner is doing and cooperate with that person, there's a bigger chance of you winning in these type of situations which involve more than one person. Now, she's like, she's like, oh, like, I can't be bothered, and she just goes away. And Anakoji was like, you need to learn how to compromise, because this is actually a team match. And she's like, oh, like, I just want to get the best possible time, like, and it's like, it's logical that the relatively slower people should be made to pace up. Like, like, so, like, the way she's saying this, like, it seems so elitist. I have to say that, I use that word here, because she's basically saying that, oh, it's your fault for being slow. I'm better than everybody, so I feel like like, I'm doing the best for my class, but you guys are so slow that, yeah, it's not happening. So I'm like, god damn, like, and I feel like Anukuji was the best person here to actually show her that, yeah, you know what you're doing to the other people, let me show you. And he was like, all right, come with me, like, and like, I was actually thinking he was not going to show his, like, his, I would say, his actual capability, because he wants to hide it. But I guess in front of Horikita, he did show her his superior intellect before, a little bit. And Horikita, I feel like Horikita does know that Anukoji is fairly intelligent and fairly strong. You remember that episode with where Horikita's brother was there? He just dodged the brother's punch like that. I'm pretty sure after seeing that, Horikita knows that Anukoji is pretty damn strong. So I'm guessing that is the reason why Anukoji actually showed her his capabilities and just ran so fast that Horikita was almost like, falling down, and she couldn't even just follow them. Now, Anukoji explains the actual situation. He's like, it's not about individual speed. The problem is that you won't look at your partner. Looking at your partner and giving them a degree of initiative is what's important. So that's why basically Anukoji was just running on his own and not even looking at Horikita, because he wanted to show Horikita what she's doing to others. And when you are faster in like two, like, like in this type of a situation, there's two people, one person is faster, one person is slower, it is obviously more important that the person who is faster actually compromises, that type of a thing. And the person who is faster should look at the other person, which Horikita was not doing at all. In her and Anukoji is faster, so that's why if he did not look at Horikita at all, Horikita would have just fallen down. And that's what he just showed Horikita, to make her realize what she has been doing up until now. And he's like, you know what, come with me tomorrow, you, I, and one other will embark on team white reconnaissance. Okay, so he's going to include Kushida in their group. And he says the reason is that the Earth group traitor during the cruise exam was Kushida. Wait a minute. You know what? I have to go back and check this. What happened to the Earth group? Who won and who lost? Just a sec. I'm going back to the previous episode, and I'll try to find out what happened. Here you go. Earth group. All participants achieved correct answer after testing period conclusion. All participants achieved correct answer. Oh, so they won. Wait, then how, like, there was no traitor, then why? I don't, okay, this part is again confusing me. There wasn't any traitor, that means. Like, it's written all participants achieved correct answer after the testing period conclusion. Yeah, then how? I don't understand. Oh boy, there's so many things that's actually confusing me here now. You know what, if it doesn't include any spoilers, can you please let me know? Because like I said, I was under the impression that Ruben was able to figure out that Kushida was the VIP. And it's written that the Earth group won. Like, you know, they did not have any traitors in it. Result 1 was the answer. Okay. Yeah, let me just stop thinking about it. There's so many things that I'm actually kind of, I don't understand as in like, you know, in this, like, you know, whole thing. The biggest thing that I'm really confused about is the whole thing with Ruben. Like I said, in the beginning of the episode, they kind of said something, they kind of hinted about Ruben, like, you know, something, like, you know, he made a mistake. What mistake did he make? Like, I don't even know which group Ruben was in, so I don't know whether what happened to his group. Like, all the groups, was there any episode where they actually told us which group which team was in? I'll have to check it out later on, you know, if there was any such list like that. It's going to help out so much if I actually get a list as to which character was in which group, you know. Since I don't know which group Ruben was in, I'm not able to properly figure out what's happening, I feel like. Anyways, let me know if, like, you know, if it's not a spoiler, obviously, if you have the answer as to what that whole thing was about Ruben making a mistake. Like, yeah, that thing, I don't understand that part. And again, here as well, the whole thing with Kushida, like, Anakoji says that Kushida was the traitor, and even, like, you know, Ruben said that, oh, like, you know, I was easily able to figure out that Kushida was the VIP, and he said that, oh, I just looked at you, Horikita, and I realized that, you know, you are so easily, you can be easily read like a book. So I thought that Ruben knew that Kushida was the VIP. So, but it's written that Earth group, like, no one was the traitor in the Earth group. So what's happening here? I don't understand this part. These are the few things that are actually confusing me a little bit. But either way, this test is very, I feel like it's very simple. It's basically that there's a whole thing about, like, you know, class point, private point as well. And yeah, like, I feel like, you know, like, these type of things in actually, like, you know, like in like, you know, book format, in light novel format, it's a lot more easier to understand. Since it's anime, you know, like, they are obviously going to try to like, compact it down into, like, you know, one episode and stuff. So there's a lot of things that you actually don't properly figure out. And here again, there's a few things that I don't understand properly. And yeah, but like I said, all of these, I'm pretty sure they'll all be explained properly as we go more into the whole exam thing. And we as we start the sports festival, or, you know, that thing, I'm sure I'll get my answers eventually what is happening. So Yeah, anyways, so that was it. That was my reaction to Classroom of the Elite season 2 episode number 4. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed, and comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know, and I'll check them out. And that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Classroom of the Elite. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.